What's up, fellow Arkeesians? We have some interesting things to think about today, and I'm just going to come out and start presenting, and that is that there is a very strong possibility that the 15th class we see for NA and EU could very well be Elementalist. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds crazy. This class isn't even out in Korea yet. We'll get there. All right. First of all, let's take note of the fact that our version of the game is a completely different unorthodox release format than any of the other regions got. Every other region that released Lost Ark only had the base core 12 classes. We are currently missing 2 of the original classes, but instead we have Paladin and the Assassins and Gunslinger, which is a very recent release in Korea. It's not even available in Japan or Russia. So we already have a class that doesn't exist in other regions yet. Now, the interesting thing about it is that if there's going to be 15 classes, which they state in the forums right here, they say there will be 14 classes in the closed technical alpha, and 1 more class will be added in closed beta for a total of 15 classes during the closed beta and launch. Why would it be Arcana or Destroyer, classes that have already existed and are already in the game? Why would they need to take time to be added into a future beta date? It doesn't make sense. So the only thing I can start to think about is that it's a class that's not released yet in Korea even. And the reason for this, if we want to look about it right here, okay, one of the reasons they did the name changes for a lot of the classes was to westernize the names to make them more identifiable for the Western audience. That being said, more on new classes, but these will appear in the second half of 2021 and beyond. The first is the 4th class under the Mage tree. Mage only has 2 classes right now. We only have Summoner and Bard. Arcana is one of the classes missing, but Arcana is not a traditional mage. However, there is a new mage that is being developed. Okay? According to Smilegate, this class will be very similar to the Orthodox wizards found in fantasy stories, an authentic wizard, if lack of a better word. So this would be a class that would be a very known and identifiable class that has been very prominent in Western MMOs in general. And this would be a class that the Western audience would be very much so like to engage in and play. Now, in the future, there's an entire class line coming. It's apparently going to be the first Lolly class tree line. I know some of you are not going to be very big fans of that. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but that's way later down. But now back to the Elementalist. All right, let's talk about this. Again, 15 classes. Why would a class that already currently exists need to wait? Now, the reason why I strongly believe this to be a possibility is because for those who played the Japan version of Lost Ark's release, during the closed beta of the Japan version, they were using the Season 2 patch version of the game, and Season 2 wasn't out yet in Korea even. Season 2 had not released yet for Korea. However, during closed beta and before Japan even released, it became available in Korea. So why could that not happen with Elementalist as well? We could very possibly see Elementalist in beta for our version, and then it releases in Korea before our version releases. This is a very strong possibility, and it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Why would we have to wait for another class to be added that already exists? It makes sense when it's a class that's not out yet, or maybe not finished, but it'll be done in another month or so. And then we have it for our beta, and we're part of the testing phase for it before it's released in Korea. It just fits because it's the missing mage class. We only have 2 mage classes, and it would be a mage class that would be very prominent and familiar to your typical Western MMOer. It just makes sense to me. So, I mean, hey, maybe it's a long shot. Maybe I'm just, reaching, grasping at straws. But when you really think about it, it kind of makes sense. Now, it makes more sense if you're aware of the fact that previous versions of the game have had, during their closed testing phases, have had advanced features of the live version in Korea. But, that's why we're making this video, is to provide that information to you and make you aware that this wouldn't be the first time something like this has happened, where the closed testing phase of another region had something before Korea had it. So it's a really interesting thing to think about. And just given the fact that, you know, there's going to be a 15th class, they won't say what it is yet. Doesn't make sense that we wouldn't just have one of the classes that already exists and have it be the 15th class. But hey, I mean, I guess time will tell. It's I guess allegedly been leaked repeatedly by multiple people that the beta will be in July. So if it is in July, we'll know relatively soon whether or not what class it is. But I think if it was Elementalist, that would be really cool. And that would also, you'll have to think about this. This is Amazon. We already have a completely unorthodox version of the game, and they've done some crazy stuff for our release already. Having a brand new release version of a class that's not available in KR yet, but have it available for beta testing in our version, and having it be there on release, would also generate a lot of additional interest to the product, especially because it would be that missing element from the game, your traditional mage. So definitely just some things to think about. I think it's a possibility. I think that would be really cool. If it doesn't happen, well, it's gonna be one of the other classes. You know, it'll be a destroyer, it'll be Arcana, it could be Lance Master, it could be Striker, it could be Scouter. Those are the only other possibilities. I don't think it could be Scouter because we already have 4 Ranger classes. That would be really weird to have 5 Ranger classes and then no other of the other ones. So I don't know. We'll see. There's also Reaper, but time will tell, I guess. So I just wanted to talk about that and present that possibility to you guys, because I do think it is something that could potentially happen. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like the video and you like this idea, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one, and we'll see you in Arkesia. Bye.